Today sees me in Baidakoff Castle. I'm here to actually see a bit of history of the place of where we are here. I've been kindly given a pamphlet in English so that I can understand, but this is quite a stunning wee place. I'll stop gibbering and I'll show you some video footage. This display here, my German's not good, but it's on about 1830 to 1881. And there's a possibility that, I'm not sure if that's original timbers and brickwork, which they've strengthened up, but fascinating to think. If you see the pinholes there in the wood, that's woodworm. Not that I'm an expert on woodworm, but and this is part of the old kitchen. You have to duck for this. The women must have been wee, but look at this. There's the chimney, cooking utensils. I'm not sure what kind of meat they cook with that like, but hey ho, you never know. But this is just massive, and the stone floor the whole way through. Now, Andy has kindly updated me on a few things. I'm in the next room now, okay? So this is an old original fire engine. This is the large pump, this one here, and then this is a smaller pump. And basically, a lot of the houses around here, they were actually, because they're built of wood, you can see here on the display on the wall, they tended to go on fire. So if you look there, there's the big pump, and you see the firemen there up the ladder. So this is what you had here. This is the water cannon, and then this metal bit going to this, and two men pumped this up and down. That was basically how they got the water. This is a well, so you can look down into this well, and there you go. Look. How cool is that? Over here, we'll have a carriage which was basically an early form of a taxi, and as you can see the word post on the door, it was part of the postal service as well. But because of the weather out here, it ran on skis, or it could also run on wheels. But there's the inside is still quite original. This is glass here to stop you from going in, but just so that you can see through. The window on the other side, that actually lets you in, and it lets you see what the inside of the carriage is like. So now, to me, for back in the day, that looks like luxury. Now you can see above me here all this wood, okay, and looking into here, this pillar, right? So Andy's kindly told me that this was part of the original structure, which would have been from the 15th century. So this was actually there in 1457. Got a bit of age on that, eh? Then there's a Tin Man for the Wizard of Oz. I'll tell you what, one of the good things about this, having Andy here, Andy's able to tell me a bit of the history of this place in the background. It's fucking lovely. I mean, there's the likes of here. This was actually a poor industrial area. Basically, because of the type of land that was here, it was poor for farming. But what they'd done was they were able to make metal out of the rock. So there's a couple of the workers here, as you can see. And if you see in this photo here, you'll see the guy that got a jackhammer, so he's and down here,
You change this and put the
there you go. That's an original jackhammer.
charcoal in here.
It just shows you the size this thing is.
This is
It's about what?
the living room.
If 18 to 20 inches in length. Doesn't look a big thing compared to what they were doing. But how they extracted it, and the story behind this, smelting works and things like that. I mean, when you look into there, there's a guy like this, it's probably some kind of an iron ore factory, but how they heated things up. But the history and the heritage, when you look back into the years going by, I'm just trying to see there's a photo on here, there's a photo on the wall here of how the people, if you look at how they dressed, right, you know, all the ladies have certain ways that they dress, and the gentlemen, you see the collar and tie. I'm not sure if this guy here doesn't have a collar and tie on, so I'm not sure if he's maybe probably a manager, the man in charge, or an organiser. The three guys down the front, these guys here as well, as you can see, look, open collar, so these are workers. This young lad here, probably sent out to work instead of being out to play. One of the things that really fascinated me was a story from back in Scotland, where I come from years gone by. So back in the 1900s was that thing called tackety boots. So basically it's boots with metal pins in them. And you'll not believe this. That is an original pair of a tackety boot. Right. Mental. And if you're looking at the amount of tacks in this, look, there's... So basically this is a left sided boot. So you can see where he walks on his heel. And this is all worn away, as opposed to the strength on the inner side. But when you see the photo with the two young lads here, with their tackety boots, now there is a date on this, which I seen, and it's 1900, so you can see that there. 1900. But it's just, and as hard as times were, look how happy they were. Probably a hard day's work. And actually, if you look at them, the men seem to be knitting or weaving. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Just one last thing, actually, I've just been updated on this picture here. So I was right when I said that the guys were doing knitting. They do. They made socks. They made these socks. And this was back in 1779. So basically these four chaps are farmers, but because they were so poor here, there was no welfare or nothing, and because they were too old and frail to work the farms, they basically knitted socks and sold them all over Europe. We think we are hard done by. Well, now this is a stairwell leading up. We're going up a tower now to the next level. And just like in any other castle, it's very steep. And again, the grand entrance and the architecture. I'll tell you what, learning history in another country is totally different from learning about it at school. And when you see how the other cultures have to live and what they have, this is much better than sitting inside a pool at a seaside resort. my humble opinion, of course. I'm right up in the roof now, and the timbers are so old. Some of them have actually got a lot of bad damage with woodworm. Now, you can see a lot of the timbers have been replaced in here through time, and they've had to be. But when you're seeing some of the tools that they used, that's the brickwork skill basically. But I found this is part of an old banister, it would be, from the 1800s. Okay, a bit dark, but I'll tell you what, actually, one thing I've found very handy on here is if you use Google Translate and you go to the picture bit, and I just put it on the signs, it converts it from German into English, and I'm able to read the story. It's incredible. But here's a lot of they're working on the roof now, and well, I'll let you see the state of the timbers up here that they're working on. So this is an open floor. I'm not sure if by the looks of it, they might refloor it again. But if you look there to that timber, look at the decaying happening right in front of your eyes there. Look. You can see the pinholes for the woodworm. But this is one of the reasons I love castles and churches. The history involved. One of the good things about getting old, it prepares you for going back into periods of time when learning for history and things like that. And it's just absolutely fantastic. You think you're hard done by in life until you see how other people used to live. But wow, this castle is just incredible. I mean, look, it's how the kiddies used to dress. It's actually an original dress. Look, there's a man. Look at the buckles on his shoes. And I think he was a farmer. I think that was the way the farmers dressed. But that could have been his, but it looks like with the buckles on the shoes. Could have been when he was, yeah, it's more, don't think that was for working. Mental. Just absolutely. Being in beside the old oak beams here, you can feel the history. Right, I'm going back to enjoy myself. We're now climbing the tower. This is the last bit of the castle. But this is where we're staying. This is Biedenkopf in Germany. And well, here's the view from. Oh, I've still got that to climb. But here's the view just now. What a beautiful place. So basically, outside, and there's the courtyard. This building here is what we've just been through and have been showing you. That's the roof that I was up in right there, with all the timbers. And this has been one very, very pleasurable day. Right, upstairs. There's another well again. Wow.
Ian, if you don't down to the dungeon.
No, that's not a well, by the way. That's a dungeon from 1150 and 1180. It's empty now. And look, there's see where they used to shoot the arrows. Look how thick they walls are. Absolutely amazing.
It's one of the oldest parts of the castle.
Fuck me. This is no doing my arse me any favours, that's a fucking cert. Fuck me. Jesus. Look at here we are now, look. We're getting near to the end. And there we go. Original staircase. Duck. Okay. Whoa. Steam coming out my arse now. Oh, look. And this is the turret. And there you go. Well, that was well worth the climb. There's the... Actually, if I look here, I'll see if I can zoom in. Yeah, right there. Hang on, where's my finger? I've lost my finger on the camera. There we go, right. So right there, in the middle of the screen, you see a motorhome. And that's where we're staying. That's Andy and Anna's home. That's their motorhome. And you can't see it, but right behind it is my bike. Now here's a fun fact that Andy's just told me, that the whole of Bidenkopf burned down to a forest fire in 1777. All except for one house. He's not sure of the date of the house, but he reckons that it could be 15th, 16th century. But this one old house, I'll show you it now from up here. So, right in the middle of the screenshot here, right there, you'll see that tower from the church. Okay, and that house right there survived the fire. That is the one and only property still here before the fire of 1777. And it was the only property in the whole of this region here that survived the fire. Everything else was burnt down. How crazy is that, eh? So, although this hasn't been an adventure trip for to show you, this is one of our first rest days we've had here, and the hospitality that we've received since coming here from this couple has been absolutely fantastic. The food, the house, the room, the settings. Really can't be arsed with the rest of the trip now. So, till the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.